Chapter 37, in which Garland Lenox doesn't believe in miracles on ice. Wake up. No. Garland, wake up! Your stupid lawyer is on television telling the world we kidnapped you for ransom. The old man sat up and rubbed his eyes, then leaned between the front seats and laughed. That sounds about like Lucian. Look, Parker said, showing him an Associated Press article she'd found on my phone. I can't read print that small, Garland barked. Fine, Parker said, and began reading the article out loud. Birmingham, Alabama. Garland Lenox, a 90-year-old World War II veteran, is missing, and his attorney fears the dementia patient is the victim of a kidnap for ransom plot. Lucian Figg, attorney for the missing man, told reporters gathered outside the Jefferson County Courthouse that 2 high school students from nearby Hornby, Alabama, recently befriended his client and coerced him aboard an Air France flight bound for Paris, France. The State Department and United States Embassy in Paris are aware of the situation, Figg said, but failed to intercept my client and his abductors at Charles de Gaulle Airport. When asked if he had received a ransom demand, Figg declined to comment, only saying that Garland Lenox is a hero and we pray for his safe return. Anyone with information concerning... Okay, dear, I get the gist, Garland said. Why'd you even hire that guy? I asked. Didn't the name Lucian Figg tip you off that he might be evil? Garland laughed and said, I didn't hire him. I hired his daddy, Lucian Sr., though I guess his name was just as bad. Lucian Jr. took over when his daddy died 2 years ago. He's a moron, but I liked him all right until he stuck me in that damn nursing home. Well, we've got to get our side of the story out there, I said, glancing back at Garland in the rearview mirror. No, son, we've got to find Madeleine, the old man said. That's why we're here, remember? Yeah, but everyone in the world thinks we kidnapped you. So what? Everyone in the world thinks we beat the Soviets in hockey at Lake Placid, but I know for a fact Ronald Reagan offered the Russian goalies $10 million each to throw the game. Paid them in Liberian dollars so no one could trace it back to the U.S., then staged a coup in Liberia a month later so their currency would plummet and the goalies wouldn't get anything. Man, old Ronnie hated the Ruskies. Okay, but... Wait, really? You can't make this shit up, son. Whatever, I said. I'd still rather the entire world not think of me as a kidnapper. Besides, if we can get our side of the story out there, they might not be so aggressive in tracking us down. He's got a point, Parker said, and it's a good chance to make your lawyer look like an idiot. Garland chuckled. All right. You had me at make my lawyer look like an idiot. A few kilometers later, we pulled off the motorway at a service area, which is like a rest area in the States, except these have gas stations and restaurants. Both a welcome sight considering we were starving and had wasted most of Ramey's gas circling Paris. I parked at an open pump, and while Garland watched me fill up the tank, Parker went inside in search of nourishment. Is the metric system screwing me up? I asked Garland, looking at the prices on the screen. Or is gasoline here crazy expensive? Nope, they call it petrol, and it's about $5.50 a gallon, Garland said, handing me his debit card. No wonder they all drive glorified golf carts, I said, and took the card. Wait, should we be using this? Won't they be able to track our purchases like cops do on television? Not that card, Garland said. Swiss banks are sticklers for privacy. I examined the card. It didn't even have his name on it. Just a long series of numbers. Why do you have a Swiss bank account? I asked. To keep my Swiss money, Garland said, and left it there. Parker came back and handed me a bright green can of something called Genie. Do they not sell Coke? I asked. It's time you drink something besides Coke, Edwin Green. Consistency is the last refuge of the unimaginative. Then she tossed me a weird little tin of candied fruit and said, "Here, you need to broaden your horizons." "No, I need calories," I said, and tossed the fruit back to her before going inside to buy a Coke and a family-size bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. Then the three of us sat and snacked on a picnic table in the parking lot median while I began recording Garland on my phone. "Okay," I said, "just tell the world what's going on." Garland frowned at the camera and said through a mouthful of potato chips, "What, now?" "Yeah, whenever you're ready." The old man washed his chips down with a swig of whatever nasty French soda Parker bought him and said, "Hello, America. This is Garland Lenox, coming to you live from somewhere in France. I just wanted to take a moment and assure everyone back home that I'm fine, and I wasn't kidnapped, despite what that asshole of an attorney of mine is telling anyone who'll listen. Hell, knowing Lucian, he'll go on television after this and say my captors forced me to make this statement, and that I'm blinking SOS signals." At this, Garland began to blink in exaggerated fashion, and a Boy Scout in Arkansas was the first to notice the old man actually blinked the word asshole in Morse code. "But I can assure you that is not the case. If anything, I talked these two kids into taking me to France, and if that's a crime, well, I'll face the music when we get home. But until then, we're on a mission to find Madeleine Moreau, the beautiful woman who saved my life 70 years ago during the war. It may take us a few days, but I know we'll find her, and then we'll surrender, and the kids can go back to school, and I'll go back to my damn nursing home, and you'll never hear a peep out of old Garland Lenox again. So, to anyone out there trying to find us, just back off and let us do what we came here to do." Then Garland pointed at Parker and said, "Parker, hun, anything you'd like to say to the folks back home?" I turned my phone toward Parker, and she jabbed a finger at the camera and said, "If you want to see the old man again, you'll leave $10 million at the base of the Eiffel Tower by midnight." Garland laughed out loud, and I flipped the camera around toward myself and said, "She's joking. Tell them you're joking." I pointed the camera back at Parker, and she said, "I'm joking." Then added with an evil villain's laugh, "It's $20 million. I sighed and put the camera back on Garland. "Tell them she's joking." "She's joking," he said between laughs. "It's $30 million. And then they both cracked up. I flipped the camera back around on myself and said, "I promise they're joking. Don't leave $30 million at the base of the Eiffel Tower. Oh, and hi, Mom. Hi, Carl. Sorry I haven't called you back, but as you can see, I'm fine. And now you know why I had to help Mr. Lennox. I should be home in a few days, and you can ground me until I'm 37, okay? Love you both." I hesitated before pointing the camera back toward Parker and asking, "Anything else?" "Don't you think French gas stations are lovely in the spring?" she asked. "I do," I said. "I can't think of a nicer place to hold an old man for ransom." "Damn it, Parker," I said, and turned the camera toward Garland, who was still laughing. "Anything you want to add?" "Did I mention that my lawyer is an asshole?" "Yes, a few times." "And that I wasn't kidnapped, and no one is holding me for ransom, and that my attorney is truly an asshole?" "Yes." "Then I guess that's all the news from France," Garland said, and I stopped recording. I posted the video to my YouTube channel and texted Fitz to say it was ready for worldwide distribution. 20 minutes later, CNN was the first network to air it in its entirety.